Welcome back to another episode of Two Bros, One Pod. Today on episode 4, we will be discussing football one more time. This time, we're talking about the AFC. All right. We're going to talk about a few trades that altered the AFC, which, believe me, big names, big impact. And then at the end, we'll finish off with our power rankings of the AFC teams. And you guys won't want to miss out, believe me. So, Jay, without further ado, should we get started?
Let's do it.
Let's get it going. What's up, Jay? How you doing today, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm doing good. I'm excited. How about you?
Yeah, I'm excited as well. The AFC, man. The AFC, the amount of moves that they had this offseason was insane. Picking 5 for me was tough, but
Bro, not even that. Like I had the 5 trades in front of me, and I was like, okay, maybe number 5 should be number 3. And number 1 should probably be number 2. And number 4 should probably be number 1. Like they are high level trades.
The order was definitely tough. At first, it was hard to just pick 5. But when I was like, you know what, whatever, these are my 5. Then it's like, what order do I put these in? It was hard. It was hard. There was a lot of moves. But again, we could have different opinions, just like we did in NFC talk. Which is what makes it interesting, and then maybe our viewers as well. And if they do, by all means, we would love to hear what the rankings are for them. But we're gonna do something a little different this time when we talk about trades. Would you like to explain how we're gonna do it this time?
Yeah, for sure. So, for those of you that watched our week 2 episode for the NFC trades, we kind of did. I said my 5th trade all the way through my first trade, and then Andrezinho did his 5 trades. But for this, for the AFC trades, we're kind of gonna do it a little bit different, just because since these trades are so high level, we're kind of gonna keep you guys a little bit on the edge. So I'm gonna say my 5th trade, and then Andrezinho is gonna give his 5th trade, and then so on and so forth, 4th, and then he's gonna give his 4th until we get to number 1.
Sounds good to me.
So I'm gonna just go ahead and start it off.
Go ahead.
So, like we've mentioned earlier, it was very tough to put these 5 trades in this order, but I had to pick a number 5, and so I went with this one. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins.
Ooh, number 5. Okay.
Number 5, Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins.
Sorry, just a quick explanation, just in case people need it. Obviously, our 5th would be, from these 5, the least impactful, and number 1 is the most impactful. So just to clear that up. So go ahead. Tyreek at 5. Interesting.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yes. So I got Tyreek Hill at number 5. I think, looking at the 2 teams that, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins, obviously the better team is the Chiefs, right? So number 1, he left the better team to go, I guess, follow the money, right? You could say.
Yeah.
I mean, he was already the undisputed number 1 wide receiver in the Chiefs. So yeah, he's gonna go be there in the Dolphins. But the main reason I have him at number 5 is quarterback. He downgraded big time, huge in quarterback. Right? From the number 1, undisputed number 1 real life quarterback, fantasy quarterback, everything in Patty Mahomes. That's his nickname that I got for him.
That's
Patrick Mahomes.
So the homeboy of yours.
That's right. I mean, even though I got this jersey on, but whatever.
We'll explain that later.
So yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes was the number 1 overall guy to go over to Tua, who hasn't really, showcased what he got, or he's been very iffy. Some games he's good, some other games he's bad. Yeah. I think he downgraded big time. And looking at my other 4 trades, I think these other 4 trades are better for the team as well as for the player. So that's why I got Tyreek Hill as number 5.
That's a very, very interesting position. I'll tell you that. For me, all right. So for me, I don't know if this would be considered cheating.
You're cheating. Yep. If you had to say that, then you're cheating.
But the way I see it is, all right. So my number 5, which, okay, I'm just gonna say it. My number 5, I have Deshaun Watson to the Browns. Ooh, here's my explanation, right?
Okay.
If Deshaun Watson, we all know the allegations that's going around, right. However that ends up, if he ends up suspended because he's proven guilty, he's obviously not going to be in the top 5.
Right.
If he is found innocent and he could play the season, he wouldn't be number 5 for me. He'd go higher. Okay. Right. So I put him at 5 because I was like, it's still up in the air.
Right.
Because if he plays, the Browns to me become a true AFC contender.
Yeah.
You have around him Amari Cooper, the best duo in at running back in Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
A ridiculous O-line that he never had in the Texans, and he still produced in Houston. And not to mention their killer defense. Like that team, I know it's a really tough division and all that, but that team just, to me, just elevates. Crazy amount. But this is where I say I don't know about cheated. If Deshaun Watson doesn't play again, he wouldn't be in this top 5. So my other number 5 would be Matt Ryan going to the Colts.
Okay.
But kind of the same reason. He upgrades incredibly in O-line. Like the Colts have one of the best, if not the best O-line in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't really have a star wide receiver. I love Michael Pittman. Is he a number 1? He has to prove it. Hopefully he does. But then after him, it's like, who else, you know?
Right.
But they have Jonathan Taylor. They have a ridiculous defense. And Matt Ryan, yes, he's not 2016 MVP Matt Ryan, but he could still produce. He played pretty well for the Falcons last year, and the Falcons were one of the worst teams.
I don't know.
Now, I'm telling you, now with the better O-line, I feel like they don't need a star. They don't need a Patrick Mahomes. They don't need a Josh Allen. They just need somebody that has experience, that can manage these games. Just think about it. The Colts were 1 game away from playoffs. Carson Wentz showed that maybe he's not that guy. They lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really do think
I lost money in that game.
Yeah. I think with Matt Ryan, they would have won that game. They would have won.
Yeah.
Probably even more. Like other games that they lost, they probably would have won. But that's besides the point. That's in the past. I'm looking at the future. I think it's a good move. So again, it might be a little cheating, but I have kind of like 2 options at 5 just because one is up in the air if he's even going to play or not.
Right.
But you know, that's kind of where I have Watson to the Browns, Matt Ryan to the Colts. That's how I have it. But
all right, that's not bad.
What's your number 4?
It's all right. You went with 2 number 5s. Hey, but that's not cheating. It's okay.
Hey, 5A, 5B. 5A, 5B. We'll call it that.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this.
Yeah.
I don't have Matt Ryan in my top 5.
Interesting. Okay, that's fair.
And my number 4, I have Khalil Mack to the Chargers.
Okay.
I think with that pickup that the Chargers did, him and Bosa together, oh my God, man.
Scary.
They are, with that pickup right there, just put their defense at a much higher level. And not just that, but they have just put their offense in better position to score touchdowns. All right. It's going to be easier. It's going to be much easier for Herbert to move up the field. Why? Because they might not even be on their side of the field this time. You know, they might more turnovers. All right. That defense is going to step up big time. I mean, they already had a good defense, but just adding Mac in there is like, you know, it's like that little piece that they were missing, you know? So I think this is going to improve their team a lot. Okay. Their defense is going to go skyrocket. They might even be one of the best, if not the best AFC defenses. All right. Again, and it's just going to make life easier for Herbert. So I have him at number 4. I think that was a wonderful pickup for the Chargers.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Because my number 4 is Khalil Mack to the Chargers. The way I see it is kind of like everything you said. I'm not going to go too much in depth because you basically said everything, and it's true. You know, their team is stacked on offense. You have one of the best young quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
First of all, he's young, right?
Yeah.
And this kid's already, I would say, top 7, definitely top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yep.
And he's gonna get better, obviously. You have him, you have Keenan Allen, you have Mike Williams, you have Austin Eckler. You have so many pieces on offense.
Yeah, that's just offense.
That's just offense. And they were, I would say, 1 timeout away from playoffs. Like if the coach never called timeout, they probably would have made playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And their defense was, like you said, good, but just kind of you felt like that was like their Achilles heel. Like, if there's somewhere we could beat them, it's their defense. They really can't stop us, right? And then this offseason, talking about moves, I'm not gonna go into names, but they made a lot of moves on defense, right? They signed a lot of free agents. They drafted a few players.
Yep.
But then Khalil Mack to the Chargers, to me, when you look at that D line, you're like, all right, we could double team Joey Bosa, and if he gets through, he gets through. Now it's like you can't double team Joey because you got Khalil on the other side. So it's like, who do I turn my attention to? Exactly. Whoever you do, the other one's gonna get sacks.
Yep. No matter what. It
wouldn't shock. I'm gonna be honest. It wouldn't shock me. Both of them hit double-digit sacks. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right. They improved their secondary. They to me look like a really, really scary team, a true contender in my eyes now.
Yeah.
I've always liked the Chargers. I'm happy for them. I would love to see them succeed.
Same.
And I think this is one of those moves that could propel them to it. So
That'll be a fun team to watch in the Super Bowl. Imagine they get to the Super Bowl. It'll be so fun. Both on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. It'll be
absolutely. The Chargers, man, to me, I've always said in the chats that we're in when we talk about football, I've always said, keep an eye out on them. But every year they kind of like let me down. But I feel like this year might be the year. Keep an eye on the Chargers.
You never know.
What you got at number 3?
At number 3, I have, these top 3, I was kind of debating. I had this number 3 at 2 at some point, but I feel like you'll understand later on why I have 2 at number 2 and 1 at number 1. Fair. But my number 3 is Davante Adams to the Raiders.
Okay.
All right. I think, sure, he also downgraded like Tyreek Hill. He downgraded in quarterback. He went from arguably the greatest of all time, or definitely in that conversation, to an above average quarterback in Derek Carr. But the reason I have him at 3 and above, Khalil Mack and Hill, is that the Raiders, what I saw of them this past season was these guys are hungry. These guys are hungry. They fight for every ball. Their defense is nice. I feel like their defense was playing better than their offense, and that's why they were able to win some games. But them adding Davante Adams, combining him with Carr, which used to be teammates in college.
Yep.
It's kind of what you have in the Bengals, right? With Jamar Chase and Burrow.
Yep.
Okay. So I feel like these guys have been wanting to play together for a long time. That's the main reason why Davante Adams went. Yeah. So him coming to this offense, to this team, is going to bring so much versatility because you have him, right? If you can't get him, who do you have at tight end?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Top 3, top 5, yeah.
Yeah, and then if you can't go to him, you got a really, really good running back. Really, really good running back. So it's like, okay, I got my running back. I got my tight end. I got my go-to guy at wide receiver, which I already know from college. So they're going to be motivated. They're going to be motivated, and I think they're going to try to shut all the doubters up, especially those in Green Bay. So that's why I got him at number 3. What do you got?
Well, we're going back to back.
Okay.
My number 3 is also Davante Adams to the Raiders.
Okay.
I agree with you. Yes, he downgrades in quarterback, but when I look at Aaron Rodgers versus Derek Carr, Patrick Mahomes versus Tua, I don't think he downgraded as bad as Tyreek.
Yeah, right? I agree.
But as much as he downgraded, that's the NFC side of him. The AFC side of him, bro. I'm not saying the Raiders now are true contenders, like I said about the Chargers and the Browns if Watson plays. To me, he's kind of like a Matt Ryan to the Colts. Like, they don't become true 100% AFC contenders, but they become teams that you're like, all right, let's keep an eye on them. Like, they might be for real.
Yeah.
Right. The Raiders, in my opinion, have now gone into what I believe to be the toughest division in football, personally. Before I used to think it was the NFC West with the Rams, the Seahawks, all that. But now with the Seahawks, we talked about it. I don't see that division as strong. I see it as a 3-team race.
Yeah.
This one I see as a 14 race still. Right.
Yes.
But we'll talk about that a little later. So I do see Davante being a big impact because, like everything you said, great chemistry already with the quarterback. Okay. If they double team him, which he's shown he could be, no problem. But if they do, you have Darren Waller. When healthy, top 3, at worst, top 5 tight end in the league.
Yeah.
You mentioned the running back. I'm going to mention somebody different that might have slipped your mind, but that's okay. My man, Mini Cooper Kupp, Hunter Renfrow. That man is a wildly good slot receiver. Like, he plays really that so well. Like, he's underrated.
This man doesn't drop a ball. He does not drop a ball.
Last season, he finally kind of got the respect. Like, everybody's like, oh, he's actually good. I really like him. I think he's one of those like players that you go to. He's like, he reminds me of Tom Brady's Julian Edelman. Like, he knows if I need somebody, I'm going to him. That's what Derek Carr sees, Their defense is pretty good. Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't say it's up there with like the Chargers, with the Colts, with the Browns, but I even though their defense is not as good, Davante Adams is better than all those players I said. You know what I mean? And he makes your quarterback that much better. Derek Carr to me is like a top 10, top 12 quarterback in the league. With Davante Adams, he could probably go top 8, maybe. I don't know.
He was already there. Without him.
That's what I'm saying. So with Davante, he's only going to get better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I got him at 3 just because I feel like the other two have bigger impacts. and we'll get to that pretty soon. What's
All
your
right.
number?
Oh
You
no,
want me to
who do
go?
you have at number 2?
All right,
Because my number 2 is gonna be a little
number
spicy.
2 is Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
Okay.
Like you, my top
Okay.
3, when I narrowed it down to those 3, I was shifting back and forth. At one point, Devontae was 1. At one point, Russ was 1. And my number 1, obviously, is number 1 now. But
right.
they just kept shifting. And the reason why is I have Russ at number 2 and not 3 or 1. That, what the Broncos just did, most likely will be a success. There's obviously still a chance for it to flop, which I highly doubt is Russell Wilson. Like, come on. But the last time the Broncos did a big move like this, trading for a quarterback, getting a big name quarterback, Peyton Manning. What did Peyton Manning do? Yes, he wasn't his best anymore, but he won them a Super Bowl. He broke the record at the time.
Yep.
You know, they went to 2 Super Bowls, lost one, that's fine, but he won the other one. You know, so Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson is definitely top 7. I would even argue top 5 quarterback in the league. And now you're adding him to a team surrounded by young studs, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. Yes, you lost Noah Fant, but you got the other tight end whose name I don't want to mispronounce, but I know they called him Albert O. I know they drafted another one in the NFL draft, but you know, he's probably number 1 still. Not to mention, I'll leave them last, actually. A good defense, very good defense that they improved in the offseason. And not to mention Melvin Gordon, who is still very serviceable, but my boy, Javonte freaking Williams. That kid is such a beast. I'm so excited to see. I know he's going to be sharing the backfield with Melvin, but I think halfway through the season, he's going to push Melvin to the side. He's going to take over. Yeah. Melvin's gone next year in Javonte's show. You know what I mean? So Russ just improves that team from okay, they got good pieces around them, to like, oh, they got good pieces and they got a star quarterback. I know the division is tough. Like I mentioned with Devontae Adams, same division, but it's Russell Wilson. It's a ridiculously stacked team. I think that team could truly fight for the division. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I think we're overhyping them.
Yeah.
I get that. Like we do have to see them in action, but Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock at moments made that team look really good.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I remember against the Chiefs, Teddy Bridgewater pushed them. They almost got it, right?
Yep.
With Russell Wilson, man, and they kind of fixed the O-line, nothing crazy, like not top 10, not top 5, whatever, but they fixed it.
Yeah.
Something Russ didn't have in Seattle for the last few years. And I don't know. I'm just really excited to see him there. And I think he's number 2 for that reason. What about you?
All right. Not bad. Not bad. My number 2 is kind of what you did at number 5. All right.
So you cheated too, huh?
Oh, no. I did not cheat because you had these guys separate and it's 2 different teams.
Okay.
I have my guys from the same team.
Oh, okay.
All right. I have at number 2, Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper to the Browns. Okay. All right. I feel like what the Browns are trying to do is they're trying to win now. Now. Okay. They are tired of losing. They're tired of being last. They're tired of being, the laughing stock of the whole NFL. Picking up Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper. All right. So let me go back a little bit. All right. Let's just say the way I put these 2 guys at number 2 because what you did, you have them at number 5. So, but you were like, if this happens or if this happens,
right?
It's up in the air. I'm just assuming that he's gonna play.
Okay,
that's why he's at my number 2 with Amari Cooper. All right, these guys together are going to kill in the Browns. Amari Cooper is finally getting what he wanted, which is feed me the ball.
Number 1.
I don't care if I'm covered, if I have double coverage, throw me the ball. I will make a play. All right. He was begging for that in Dallas, begging for it. They weren't really throwing, some games he wouldn't even catch balls until like the second half.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got Deshaun Watson, who I'm sure is eager to come out and play. And then you give him a wide receiver who wants the ball. What?
Yeah.
Bro, they are ready. And like you mentioned earlier, that Browns defense is no joke either.
No.
That Browns defense, they have a couple years now together, so the chemistry is there. I saw a picture a couple days ago in Instagram about Deshaun Watson taking out the whole defense out on vacation. I don't know where. Bro, he's getting that team right. That whole offense, he's getting it right. And I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks once they're out there on the field. So I think they could be a lot, they could upset a lot of teams that, you think like contenders for the Super Bowl. they could win those games.
100%.
They could win those games.
100%.
So the only reason though I have them at number 2 is because, again, it's two different players and the chemistry might not be there right from the beginning.
Right.
You know what I mean? They might be a little too excited. They might not connect right away, but once they do, is gonna be fireworks.
I feel like the only downside I see in that trade, which is why they were 5 me, besides the whole like will he play, will he not,
Right.
is the Browns are such a run heavy team. Meanwhile, the Texans were like Deshaun Watson, nothing else, right?
Yeah, but you know what? But I think that there's no way they're gonna do that. Them Deshaun Watson now,
of course.
I feel like they're tired. Yeah, even though they have amazing running backs, you know, again, the best duo in the NFL. Yeah. I feel like they don't want to keep pounding those two running backs. You know what I mean? Look what happened last season. They were both injured for a good chunk of the season. Yeah. So they want to kind of get that pressure off of them. And if they're able to do that, they'll probably be more productive with less touches of the ball.
I was about to say, don't get me wrong. That's not a downgrade on Chubb or Hunt. Like those guys are going to eat. Those guys are going to, I think Hunt is going to be even better because now he's going to not just get little dump offs. Now he could actually run a route and Deshaun will find him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, you know, they are a run heavy team. Obviously, they're going to change their scheme up. It's Deshaun. You're not going to sign Deshaun Watson and be like, yeah, well, all you're going to do is hand off the ball. No. Right. That's number one. Number two, the biggest worry people have, and I kind of see it, but at the same time, I don't. You know, he hasn't played football in a whole year, you know, and I understand that the rust is there. His first few games, he might struggle. You know, it's normal. There's rust. No matter how much you train.
Honestly, I don't even think.
I don't know, bro. Because we got to be honest. Like, you could train all you want. You could train every day for 8 hours, whatever. It's different training than playing in a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, maybe the first 2 games, like, I'm not saying he's going to be bad because it's Deshaun Watson, but he might have a little rust where you're like, oh, he usually makes that throw.
Right.
He overthrew it. He underthrew it. You know what I mean? And then eventually he'll just, okay, well, there's the full Deshaun Watson, right? But I agree. I think once those two click, the Browns, man, maybe not this year, but definitely next year and beyond, I think they could be true contenders, man.
I agree. I
like it. I feel like I know you're number one, so
I'm gonna go ahead and say my number one.
Go ahead.
There's no secret here. All right. Russell Wilson to the Broncos.
Right.
Again, what you were mentioning earlier, yeah, he's your number 2, but you pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say. All right. You know, when Peyton Manning went to the Broncos, he went to 2 Super Bowls, ended up winning 1. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he had a better defense than what they have now, but also Russell Wilson right now is, you know, he's not injured. He's much better right now than what Peyton Manning was when he went to the Broncos.
Agreed.
Okay. So, and not just that, but every single season, I don't know if you knew this, but every single season, Russell Wilson has had a top 15 wide receiver. He has made a wide receiver in the top 15 every single season, obviously beating Seattle.
Yeah.
You look at the wide receiver core that Denver has. You look at these 3 guys in Cortland Sutton, all right, Tim Patrick and Jerry Jeudy. You could look at 2 of them and be like, okay, this guy could be a top 15. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe this guy could be the top 15 one. You know what I mean? So I think Jerry Jeudy and him are going to connect amazing. Again, pretty much what I said with Deshaun Watson and Amari Cooper is going to be fireworks. Yeah. He didn't go there just to, you know, not let him throw the ball, you know, let Russ cook. That's the thing.
That's what he's been begging for. So
exactly. That's exactly what he's been begging for. And he has 3 really good wide receivers. And again, they took Noah Fant, but that's fine. He has 3 really good wide receivers. And like you said, not to mention the running backs. All right. That combination is going to be amazing. And like I said earlier, the defense isn't as great as when Peyton Manning was there, which means they might be getting scored on a bit. So that might for fantasy purposes,
right,
this might be great for Russell and the wide receivers.
Right.
Great. Fantastic. But the reason I have him at number 1, the main reason is because Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. He has experience. Yeah. He has experience in Super Bowls. He's going to go out there and he's going to try and demand everybody to go out there and be better every single day. And again, just that experience, that expertise that he has is, I think is going to elevate everybody on the offense and on the defense. So that's why he's my number 1.
That's very interesting. My number 1, right? Let's take it back a notch to your number 5. Okay. Tyreek Hill to the Dolphins.
Yes.
There's 2 reasons why I have him at number 1.
No.
Right? Number 1, what you mentioned. Yes, he downgrades in quarterback. It's true, right? Let's talk about it. Tua's not. He's not Patrick Mahomes. I'll start with that. No. We know that, right?
No.
Number 2, I've personally, I don't know how you feel, but ever since he was in college, ever since he got drafted, I said he's overrated. I
Yeah.
don't see anything special in Tua. I'm sorry. He's a left-handed quarterback. Maybe that's the most special thing he has. I don't know. He's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. He shouldn't be in the NFL. I just don't think for the praise that he gets, the hype that he gets, he hasn't shown me anything. You know what I mean? Even in Alabama, like, yes, he was good there, but it's Alabama. Like, you're supposed to be good in Alabama, right?
And this is your number one pick?
This is my number one pick. And you'll see
Okay.
why, right? So that's the negative side of it,
Okay.
right? Because remember, to me, this is the impact that they have on the teams. So
Right.
that's the thing. He downgraded in quarterback, but now let's try to be positive on Tua. This is his shot now. Like, this is his shot to show, like, yo, I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Because we all know the Dolphins don't like Tua. They're probably gonna draft another quarterback next year.
Yeah.
So this is a shot. Tua has no excuse. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, a pretty good defense.
Yep.
Same thing as Russ. Like, they kind of fixed the O-line, but nothing crazy. But he has the legs to create more time for a play, right? No excuse. Literally make it or break it. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have any excuse after the season, right? The other thing I see, the flip side, is the Chiefs downgrade as well. Yes, they also, again, not to go too in depth with offseason, but they signed, MVS for the Packers as a free agent, Juju Smith as a free agent. They drafted a kid, Sky Moore, who I'm really big on from the draft, right? But let's be honest, all three of them are not Tyreek Hill. Sky Moore, we still don't know, obviously, what his ceiling is, because he's just coming out of college. We don't know how to transition. So you never know. Maybe they found the next Tyreek Hill. Who knows?
Yeah.
But as of right now, neither of them. You could put all three of them together. They're not Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean?
True.
But they do have Travis Kelce. They do have, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes. They have one of the best coaches, Andy Reid. Their defense is still pretty good. There's a lot of positives that go with the Chiefs, but I do think that losing Tyreek Hill, like, kind of hits them a little bit.
Okay.
Which is why he's number one, because of the impact he has on both teams. Like, the Chiefs, he kind of, like, I'm not saying the Chiefs go from, like, the best team to, like, oh man, you guys middle pack. No,
right.
It's just now it's like, do I really trust you as my number one? Maybe even my number two. I don't know. And with Tua, it's like, you haven't shown anything. So Tyreek Hill's really taking that risk of, like, damn, he's gonna get exposed because he's not gonna have the quarterback, or Tua could just blow up now and be like, yeah, I'm that guy. So
yeah.
I think the impact he has is greater than Russ, Adams, all that, because he just affects two teams instead of one. So that's just how I see it. That's why he's my number one.
All right. That makes sense. I like it. All right. So we're going to do the AFC way too early power rankings. All right. So I think I'm going to start it off, and then you can go ahead and say your two teams.
Sounds good.
So I have at number 16. I don't know if we're gonna agree, because in week 2 we had I think the bottom 3 the same.
Those are bottom 2, I think.
Bottom
third
2,
one
okay.
is where it starts switching. Yeah.
All right, let's see. With this, we might not get anything this time.
Let's see.
So at my number 16, I have the Texans.
Okay.
All right. So I have the Texans. Why? Because they got nothing. That's just me. All right. Fair. They can't figure out their running backs. They have good names, Burkhead, David Johnson, but it's like, you can't do anything, with the O-line. Yeah, you got a rookie quarterback now with Davis Mills, but it's like, you got to give him time. You can't go in there and be like, okay, yeah, this team is not going to be the worst. I can't do that. And it's like, who is he going to throw to?
I think that's the biggest thing. Yeah.
You got no one to throw to. So honestly, I'm going to just keep it short and simple. I got Texans at 16.
Fair.
That's it. You?
Well, for me at 16, it's shocking. It's really shocking that you got him to 16. And right before that, you mentioned how we won't have anything right, because my number 16 is the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans are my number 16. So we started off on the right foot.
Okay.
I agree. Davis Mills in his rookie year showed, like, he's not bad. I do like him.
Yeah.
But it's the Texans. Like,
yeah.
I gotta say this. In a way, we kind of disrespected one name when we say he has nowhere to throw to. He does have Brandon Cooks, which, let's be fair, he's a good wide receiver, but
he's not the same.
But no, not only that, but what I'm gonna say is, he's not a franchise saver. He's not DeAndre Hopkins. It's not like I'm like, oh, Brandon Cooks. That's it. The Texans.
And not just that. What quarterbacks did he have throwing to him before? Okay.
Right.
He had
in other teams. Yeah.
Exactly.
At one point, he had Tom Brady.
Drew
At one point, yeah,
Brees,
Tom Brady,
Deshaun
Brees.
Watson.
Yeah, like he's had great quarterbacks, but again, Davis Mills doesn't look bad. I want to see him in the year 2, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna say, what, with Davis Mills, that team's gonna go places. So on top of that, let's not talk about that defense. Like that defense they have a few good pieces that I'm like, damn, that's an interesting piece. I wonder where he goes after his rookie contract expires. But yeah, I got the Texans at 16. No disrespect to any Texans fans potentially listening, but I'm sorry. I don't see your team doing anything this year. At 15, though, this might be a shock.
Okay.
But I don't think so. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars, yes, they made a lot of offseason moves. They spent the most and whatever. But let me tell you, I put them at 15 just by thinking about one move. How do you pay Christian Kirk that much money? No disrespect to Christian Kirk. I'm sorry, but he's a pretty good receiver. But to me, he's a wide receiver 3. Nothing higher than that. Maybe he could sneak wide receiver 2. Maybe. But even then, you don't pay him that. Not when you let DJ Chark leave, who I'm not saying is like miles above Christian Kirk, but if you let DJ Chark walk, how are you paying that for Christian Kirk? Not to mention all the free agents that were out there. OBJ, you could have thrown that money to. You could have thrown that money to Juju, whatever, right? That's besides the point. They made a lot of moves. They also took Evan Ingram from us, which in a way, thank you, because I was tired of his drops. Yes. I always liked them. But
honestly, that might, what? Go on.
Yeah, but honestly, I've always liked him. I tried to defend him, but last season I was just like, I can't do it anymore. Evan Ingram, please go. So whatever. All right. They drafted in their opinion, their cornerstone defensive player in Walker. They have Josh Allen, who I like, the defensive player, not the Bills quarterback, obviously. He's really good, but I just don't see much in that team. I love Trevor Lawrence. I think he's going to be good when he leaves the Jaguars, but I don't think the Jaguars are doing anything special. They by name, they fixed the O-line, they fixed the receiving core, they fixed the tight end, some defensive pieces. That's great and all. Put it to work, and I just don't see it working. If I'm wrong, I wouldn't be mad. Like if throughout the season they do better, like great. Because again, I like Trevor Lawrence, I like some of the defensive pieces, but right now, way too early. I got them at 15. So,
that's very interesting. And there's this little saying that says, great minds think alike, and so. That's why I have them at number 15 as well.
Beautiful. 2 for 2 again.
2 for 2 again. You pretty much said everything that I was going to say. I feel like the only way for Trevor Lawrence to really succeed in that team is if he has a high level, at least a wide receiver. Like he needs names around him to at least make him feel comfortable and actually, be able to produce. But he, like you said, Kirk, he's not the worst, but
he's not that guy.
He's not really gonna be like the game changer in your team. He's not gonna be.
I'll take Cooks over Kirk, so I'll say that. Yeah, simple as that.
No, yeah, exactly. Like whenever they need to throw the ball, what are they gonna be like? Oh, all right, guy, we need to look at Kirk. No. Like, come on, no. If anything, I think their best move was Evan Ingram. Honestly, that's honestly, and I think that's the better move for Evan Ingram as well. Yeah, because that he's gonna be away from the pressure of being in New York, having to produce. You know what I mean? I feel like over there in the Jaguars, right now they are mediocre. So that pressure is already off. It's like, hey, if I do bad, well, I am in a bad team. It
is what it is. Yeah.
It is what it is. Yeah. But I do think he is going to help them out a lot. But still just not quite enough. I think Trevor Lawrence still doesn't do much this season. I give him another season. Not this season. So
that's fair. I'm not mad at that.
I have them at 15. At 14, and I am sad to have these guys at 14.
Yeah. Okay, we got the same.
I have the New York Jets at 14. I really like what they're doing. I love Wilson. They have a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
Carter is nice. He is a good running back. You got young wide receivers.
Yeah.
But I don't see them anything higher than 14. If maybe the one thing they need to change is maybe their coach. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. But maybe get themselves another like a high level wide receiver also. But it's like, who wants to come to the Jets? You know what I mean? It was Tyreek. The rumor was that Tyreek was going to go to the Jets.
Apparently, what I read is that the Jets actually offered more to the Chiefs, just that Tyreek Hill said no and he chose the Dolphins. So
Well, I
That's
guess
that. I think that kind of
that
sums everything
explains.
up.
Yeah, exactly. That explains everything. I really hope they do better though, because
Yeah,
I really like this team. You
yeah.
know, you and me went to go see them last season against the Bills. It was a good game. I mean, they got destroyed, but
Reason for our shirts though. Reason for our shirts though. Because
right, right.
as much as we might want the Jets to do well, our team is the Giants. So if we had to root for somebody
Yes,
else, it had to be the Bills.
yes,
And
exactly.
another reason that I'll talk about later. But go ahead.
Yeah. So that's why I have them at 14.
Hey man, listen. For the first time in Two Bros One Pot history, we are gonna go 3 for 3.
Okay.
I also have the Jets at 14. Unfortunately, I do agree with you. I hope that throughout the season, just kind of like going back to week 2 when we talk about the NFC, I kind of feel the same way about them as I did with the Lions. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope they go up.
Yeah.
You know, I do like the Jets. We didn't really talk about the draft, but
Yeah.
I feel like if we did, to me, the Jets were the best team that draft in the draft. Like they drafted,
Okay.
I would give them like an A if I was grading them. Phenomenal moves. You know, they picked up a wide receiver. They picked up Sauce Gardner. They picked up at like 26 or something a defensive end, like a steal. They did a really good job, right?
Yeah.
And yes, Zach Wilson has shown flashes. Um, Elijah Moore shown flashes. Michael Carter, phenomenal. But they also drafted a running back in round 2. That's probably going to be there to also split the work. So now it's like Michael Carter downgrades. It's a couple
That
things,
move I
right?
hate. I hate that move.
Yeah, I was kind of upset when I saw them draft. I was like, wow, you have Michael Carter. Like, I know that kid is good. Don't get me wrong. But if I had Michael Carter, I'm like, yo, I'm good for now. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah, I'm sorry.
But
Michael Carter's a stud.
yeah, but you know what? We're not in the Jets organization. We don't see what they see, right? So whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like that O-line still needs some work.
Yes.
I do think that defense is not, even though they did 2 really good defensive pieces, they picked up 2 really good defensive pieces in the draft. I don't think they're quite as good as the rest of the AFC. So I would absolutely love for them to prove me wrong and move up my rankings. But as of
Yeah.
right now, I just don't see them as anything better than the bottom 3. Unfortunately, top of the bottom 3, if that gives you anything, but
I
bottom
guess.
3 nonetheless. And then at 13, a team that when I wrote this, I honestly was kind of shocked. Like I was like, I can't believe I'm actually putting them here.
Let's see.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh.
I think yes, Big Ben's time had to be up. You know what I mean? It was time to move on. They finally did. Well, he did. But as good because that defense is ridiculous. Like that defense is scary.
I'm surprised you have him. You have this
I know.
team this low.
Believe me. When I looked through these rankings, I was like, can I move them? Is there anywhere I can move them? But I couldn't. I just couldn't. And you'll see why eventually, right? That's a ridiculous defense. If you give that defense to like, I'm not gonna say the Jags or the Texans, maybe not even the Jets, but okay, perfect example. I know it's a different conference, but you give that defense to the Lions, I got the Lions like top 8. You know what I mean? It's a really good defense. They have a really good receiving tandem in Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool. I love Pat Frame with their tight end. Najee Harris he's a beast. But for all that, their quarterback play is going to be questionable. Mitch Trubisky, is he really that guy? He's proven so far, not really. I know they drafted Kenny Pickett, but let's be honest, this was not the best draft class. A lot of question marks on every quarterback. So again, that quarterback play is to me still a huge question mark. And not to mention, even if they had a stud at quarterback, they have no O-line. Like they really don't. So to me, the 2 most important pieces in that team, the O-line and the quarterback, is non-existent. You can have all the weapons in the world. You can have the best defense. That defense is going to get tired because you're not going to be putting up points. And then your offense is not going to put up points because you don't have nobody that can lead you there. Najee Harris at the end of the season was starting to get burned out. And yes, I know rookies do that, whatever, but I don't know. Like I said, it was tough. It was really tough for me to put them at 13, but I feel like the rest of the other 12 teams are just better than them. But that's my opinion. What about you?
All right. So at 13, I have the Dolphins.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, I know I had them low. I'm like, with that trade they did with with Hill, but I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it out there. And this might be a little spicy.
Hot take. Here we go.
Hot take. Yes.
Here we go.
Tyreek Hill will not be a top 10 wide receiver this season.
You talking fantasy or you talking about
just in general?
Okay, interesting.
Fantasy and like actual
stats.
Football. Yeah, actual stats. I don't think he's gonna be top 10 just because of that quarterback. I don't think Tua has it. I don't think it happens.
Let me ask you a question before you continue though. I know obviously you say he's not gonna be top 10. Do you still think he hits 1,000 yards and maybe at least, let's say, 7 touchdowns?
The touchdowns, I can see him getting 7.
Hmm.
1,000 yards. I don't see him getting 1,000 yards.
Ooh, okay, that's 2 hot takes in one. Here we
I don't see him
go.
getting 1,000 yards. I know people are like, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, but I do not see it. I do not see it. They're gonna be double teamed. If you really think about it, yeah, he has speed. His route running,
Questionable.
it's questionable.
It's limited. I'll say that it's limited.
Yes, for sure. So I don't see it. And again, the big reason why I'm doing this is because Tua has not showed me anything, and so that's why I have him there at 13.
Fair. That's fair.
Now at 12, I have the Steelers. Okay, I like what they're doing a little bit better at the Steelers than, again, the defense that the Steelers have is top level. Yeah. Right, like what the little example that you did with the Lions. If you were to put Russell Wilson, with that defense, they're winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, forget about it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like kind of, the Peyton Manning and that defense. It's like that same category.
That missing piece, okay, yeah.
Exactly. Now, at quarterback, I do think Kenny Pickett wins the job over Trubisky.
Do you think from day one, though?
You think he wins it in camp? Maybe not day one, but I think before week 4, like within that first month, he takes over. I do think so. I don't know. I think Pickett, being at home, he went to college there at Pittsburgh. I think he's gonna, the fans are going to welcome him really, really well. He's gonna love that. I feel like he's gonna have some pressure off his back. He has Deontay Johnson and he has Claypool, out there catching the ball for him. And if that's too much, if he doesn't have that much time, he has Harris in the back. Yeah, like we mentioned the O-line isn't that great, but I think he's gonna go out there and he's gonna show, that he's mature, that he's ready to take this opportunity. So that's why I have them over the Dolphins at 12.
Okay, that's interesting. Listen, it was tough for me. Like I said before, 13 was tough for me, but I don't know. As everything said about Pickett, I agree, but there's just still too many question marks, and I don't know. I feel like from that, my bottom 4, the best quarterback, blindly, I guess you would say, is Trevor Lawrence. Like, he also hasn't proved much yet, but I feel like if Trevor Lawrence was in the Steelers, I'd be like, oh, Steelers definitely go higher. That's how I feel. Yeah. But we move on from that. My number 12 is the Dolphins.
Okay. I got had them swapped.
That's the only thing. We just saw them swap, but it is what it is. I got the Dolphins at 12 because I agree. I don't see Tyreek Hill. I don't know if he won't be top 10. I know for sure he's not gonna be top 5. I know he's not gonna produce like he produced in Kansas City. No. Again, Tua might prove those both wrong and just become a stud, and Tyreek Hill goes crazy and becomes the number 1 wide receiver. Who knows? These things could happen. It's the NFL, right? But I don't see it happening. The Dolphins have a really good defense, not as good as the Steelers.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is, if you ask me, as much as I'm in a way talking bad about Tua, if you ask me, do you want Tua, Mitch Trubisky, or Kenny Pickett? I'm taking Tua. And then, not to mention, you have Tyreek Hill. Like, if the Giants had the option of Tua and Tyreek Hill, or one of those 2 quarterbacks, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett, plus their 2 wide receivers, Deontay Johnson and Claypool, give me Tua and Tyreek all day. Okay. Because Tyreek is a yards after catch master. Like, he'll run a little quick slant, get the ball, and take it to the house for 50 yards. You know what I mean? So a playmaker like that, it's hard to pass up on. And as bad as the quarterback play is, I put them over the Steelers. Again, like I didn't see it's not like I'm like Steelers are here, Dolphins are here. It's like Steelers are here, Dolphins like right here.
Yeah, I hear you.
At 11, a team that might shock many people. I just don't like what they did in the offseason. Simple as that. The Patriots. I know they have the greatest coach, undoubtedly. We not argue, but everybody debates, who's the best quarterback, who's the best player. That's always up for debate. In my opinion, there's no debate about the best coach. And I hate to admit it, but Bill Belichick, like, yes, you had a lot of great coaches in the past, but Bill Belichick has, in my opinion, surpassed everybody. And you can never doubt Bill. I know that. I get that.
Yeah.
But the last time I saw the Patriots play, they got destroyed by the Bills. And you would think, you say, okay, well, what did we do wrong that game? And how can we fix it? They, in my opinion, didn't do anything to fix it. They traded away Shaq Mason. They picked up a I think it was a center, or maybe he is a guard. I'm not sure, but somebody that everybody's like, what? He's like a day 3 player in the first round.
Okay.
The offseason, they lost a lot of players, really haven't gained anybody back. Bill Belichick always knows what he's doing. I get that, but I don't know. From seeing it from the outside, and again, way too early. I don't like what they did. I got them at 11. Simple as that. Like it's not much more to say than that. They're not as good as last year. I'll say that. So that's why I got them at 11.
All right, not bad, not bad. Well, I must say I am a little surprised. Because I do have them a bit higher. But my number 11, and pretty much like you said, a lot of people might be surprised by this. I have the Ravens.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. 11. I have the Ravens at number 11. They lost their main wide receiver. Okay. You look at last season, Lamar was already struggling to connect with wide receivers. Yeah, they have Mark Andrews. Awesome. Top 3 tight end. That's great. But beyond that, he wasn't really throwing to anybody, or at least he was throwing, but there was like no chemistry. He wasn't really connecting with anybody. And you just can't keep relying on his legs, because then he's just gonna burn himself out. He's just gonna burn himself out. It's not gonna happen. And so you give away your top choice, which I think the Cardinals did a great job picking him up.
Smart move.
So, again, you remove that wide receiver, and it's like, who are you going to throw to? Take away Andrews. Who do you have? Nobody. Yeah, you got a good defense. Okay, you got Humphreys. Awesome. But you look at the division that they're in, and it's like, you got the Browns, who we mentioned. They're nice. Yeah, you got the Steelers, and Ravens offense is going to be going up the Steelers defense.
Right.
Steelers defense is amazing. And then you got the team who went to the Super Bowl, the Cincinnati Bengals. All right. So I have them at 11. I think Lamar Jackson's going to try to do a little bit too much. I mean, yes, they got good running backs. J.K. Dobbins, he's coming off that injury. But so it's like, is he going to come back
the same
without a scare? Yeah, he's going to come back the same. What's going to happen? Are they going to keep relying on Lamar to do the running? Like, what's going to happen there?
It's interesting.
I just see a lot of question marks there. So that's why I have them at 11.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, at number 10, I have the Titans.
Okay.
I have the Titans there. Again, AJ Brown. Your main guy. Agreed. AJ Brown goes away.
Agreed.
All right. You got Tannehill. Yeah, he's good. He was very close of beating the Patriots a couple seasons ago. But I feel like without that top wide receiver, and not just that, but Julio Jones.
Also, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't got Julio, you don't got AJ. Okay, so now what? Yeah, you got Derrick Henry. Cool. That's awesome. But there's only so much you could do. They're gonna be crowding that box. I mean, sure, it doesn't matter. Derrick Henry can still do it.
Derrick Henry could run over 11 players.
He will truck through that wall. It doesn't matter. But it's gonna get to a certain point where, Derrick Henry doesn't really get injured much. You don't really hear anything about him getting injured, anything like that. This could be the season where he starts dipping.
I mean, last year he got hurt. Last year he was out for a while.
Well, yeah, but okay, sure.
You're saying production-wise, he might dip this season.
Yeah, production-wise, I think he dips this season.
Yeah,
I agree. Depending too much on him, and again, they got no wide receivers. Their defense is not the worst, but not the best.
Yeah,
So I have them at number 10. I do have them over the Steelers and over the Ravens, just because I feel like collectively as a team, they're more evenly matched, their offense and their defense. But I feel like Tannehill won't be able to do much in that team.
Okay, well, that's interesting. I find it cool how my 11, you were shocked. Your 11, I was shocked.
I know.
But then our number 10, we go back to normal and we're going with the same team. I also have the Titans at 10. I'm not going to say much more than what you said. It's simple as that. They lost AJ Brown to number 1. Fine, cool. Let's make Julio number 1. They lost him first. In the draft, they picked up the kid Burks, who seems good, and a lot of people compare him to a young AJ Brown, like a slimmer version of AJ Brown.
No way.
Like cool, but like let's not do that. Let's see what he could do first, right?
Right.
Yes, Derrick Henry, when healthy, the best running back in the NFL, but he's starting to feel the effects. Like I've said it for a while, you know this. We've talked about this. Like his body will not last. Like I know he's quite literally built different. Like a man that big should not move the way he moves.
Yeah.
But no human can take those amount of hits year after year after year after year and have no effects. Like his body last season first felt it, right? This season, I agree with you. I do think he declines. I'm not saying that he's gonna go from the best running back to, oh my god, he's like number 12.
Right.
No, he might drop to like 3, 4, but he does decline, especially because like you said, that's literally all they have, right? Their defense is all right. I mean, like nothing stellar, nothing that makes me like, oh my god, wow, watch out for them. So I agree. I got the Titans at 10. Simple as that. Not gonna go too much in depth, just literally what you said, and a little bit more, right? Number 9. This is where it gets interesting for me. Okay. From 9 to 4, I had a lot of shifting, a lot of like, oh, what do I do? Right. But at the end of the day, I put my number 9 and I'm kind of upset about it. I hope they end up going higher.
Okay.
The Raiders. That's my number 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I do think they're low, but that's where I got them. Devontae Adams boosted them. I know. I get that. Their defense, decent. Their quarterback play, like you said, an above average quarterback.
Yeah.
I would even argue a good quarterback, not even above average. He's good. He's good. Let's be real. He could potentially be great with Devontae Adams, right? Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, a whole bunch of names, a whole bunch of things. But at the end of the day, the other 8 teams, I'm just like, they're better than the Raiders. Yes, you have Devontae Adams, but they're better than the Raiders for me.
No,
I got them at 9. I still, yes, believe me, at one point I had them I'll be honest, I had them at 5 at one point, but then I was like,
Jesus, okay, I didn't have them there.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, I this whole time 9 and 4, I was like, what do I do? So I just landed them at 9. It is what it is. Maybe throughout the season they go higher, they go lower, they stay. I don't know. We'll find out. What about you?
All right, so my number 9, I have the Colts.
Okay.
I think, Matt Ryan, he went to a Super Bowl. He was really, really close, just a half away of winning the Super Bowl.
Let's not talk about that.
But I feel like he's not going to be able to do it in the Colts. Honestly.
You think he's past his prime?
He is way past his prime.
He's definitely past his peak. We know that.
He's past his peak. He's past his prime. I feel like the Colts were better or are better with Wentz than with I do think so. I feel like that combination.
I would argue that's another hot take. That's me though. Let us know what you guys think, but I would argue that's a hot take.
I do think so. Okay. They got Pittman. He's nice. He's arguably their best wide, or not arguably. He's their best wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's their best wide receiver. But other than that, you don't really got anybody else to throw to. You got, some really big body tight ends, but it's like none of them are really, stepping up to be like, all right, this is my job. I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to be the guy where, my quarterback can rely on.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes they like wake up in the morning and they're like, okay, today's going to be my game. This is my game. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool. And the next week it's like, you could take it. I had my game was last week. I'll show up again in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Yes, they got Jonathan Taylor. Amazing. But it's something that that Ryan has had before in, with which could have been even better with that duo that they had with Coleman and Freeman. You know what I mean?
Deal, yeah.
They were nasty together. They were amazing.
And he also had Julio. Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly. He had Julio.
Prime
Julio. So it's like I got them at 9 just because I think these other 8 teams are better, but I don't think Ryan, I don't think he's gonna do much in the Colts, honestly. That's I really fair. Don't. I think the Colts now with that move they're just gonna be like an average team, like a 500 team.
Wow, that's interesting. I definitely think that's a hot take. 500. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I mean, they got good defense. Yeah. Like really nice defense. But I don't think Ryan will be able to do this.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So now at 8 was your number 9, the Raiders.
Fair.
I have the Raiders at number 8. Again, pretty much talking about Devontae Adams and Carr. I think these guys are motivated to play together. I feel like it's something that they've been wanting to do for years, especially both of them looking at what was going on in Cincinnati. And I think they're gonna want to match that. They're gonna really want to match that. Maybe even try to do it better because these guys are competitive. You got Crosby in the defense, who is a monster,
an underrated beast. Yeah,
a monster. So I do think this team improves for sure. And that's why I have them at number 8 over the Colts, over the Ravens, over the Steelers.
interesting.
That's my number 8.
Well, my number 8 is the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
I think they're a little bit better than the Raiders for the simple reason I understand Lamar doesn't have a receiver ready to throw to, right? But when I look at it last year, Marquise Brown, as good as he could be, regardless, he wasn't involved. And there was one game I remember specifically against the Lions where Marquise Brown should have had like 3, not even like, he should have had 3 touchdowns and like close to 200 yards receiving.
Probably more.
Dropped every single, and I'm talking about like, it wasn't like, oh, hard catch. It was like he just put his arms out. It fell to his arms.
Yeah.
It dropped. As simple as that. Lamar, I think it's a lot of, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm one of them, but I feel like some people give him much more than needed hate on him being more of a running back than a quarterback. Because I agree. I think his power, like his main strength is running the ball. Yeah. He's a good quarterback. He has a good arm. He sometimes lacks accuracy. Sometimes he's really accurate.
Yep.
But I think sometimes people overdo it. Like, oh, he's not really a quarterback. Let's not do all that. He's a really good quarterback. It's just a better running back. Simple as that. Right. But when you have Mark Andrews, okay, you're fine. Bateman, I know they're big on. They're still OBJ still out there. You never know what they do, right?
True.
And on top of that, that Ravens defense is just as good as the Steelers are. I think the Ravens defense is better, and they only got better in the draft. So I really like the Ravens. I understand they don't have a true number 1, but come on, when Lamar Jackson, it's hard to doubt them. At least doubt them more than I would doubt the Raiders, right?
Okay.
So I got them at 8. My number 7 is the Colts.
Okay.
Now, the interesting thing is I had the 9 and the 7 flipped originally. I had the Colts at 9, the Raiders at 7. But at the end of the day, I was like, no, I can't do that because I disagree with you in that. I think Matt Ryan's an upgrade for Carson Wentz. I understand he's past his peak. I don't know if he's past his prime, probably, but I still think even I think Matt Ryan's like 36, maybe even older. An old Matt Ryan is better than Carson Wentz right now. Carson Wentz last season was okay.
I don't know. I feel like Carson Wentz was able to keep a lot of plays alive with his legs. And I don't think Matt Ryan's going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to do that.
What I saw was week 18.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but when you have to win your last game of the season, and that game is against the Jacksonville Jaguars, you can't lose. I understand they were playing in Jacksonville. I understand the Colts haven't won there in however long. But this Colts team is miles better than the Jags. And
that is true.
And like you said, if Carson Wentz is that nice, Carson Wentz should have gotten them to victory. So I don't know. I think Matt Ryan, the leadership, the experience, the mentality. Yes, he doesn't have the legs. Yes, his arm isn't as strong as before. But let's be real. This is a run-heavy, defensive-oriented team. They don't need Matt Ryan to be MVP Matt Ryan. They need Matt Ryan to be, in my opinion, like a Jimmy Garoppolo. Manage the game. We have a lead. Make sure we don't lose it. Keep it. Take a long drive. Do what you got to do. Even if we just get 3 points, we're happy. So I like what the Colts did personally with Matt Ryan. I think their O-line is, again, one of the best, if not the best. Their defense is stellar. They improved their defense. So I don't know. I like the move. So I got them at 7. But I definitely think these other 6 are better than them. But back to you. What's your number 7?
So my number 7 is, and I think we had 9, 8, and 7 a little mixed up. If I remember correctly, I think your number 9 was the Patriots.
No. That was 11. My number 9 was the Raiders.
Okay, well, my number 7 is the Patriots.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep. My number 7 is the Patriots.
No wonder you said I had them a little higher. This is higher. Yeah.
Exactly. So my number 7 is the Patriots. Why? Because I really liked what I saw from them last season.
I love Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is nice.
Yeah.
Nice. He was a rookie last season, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second year now.
You got a guy who was a rookie last season and did that good. Again, it's just, I guess it's just that Bill Belichick effect. It has to be that.
It has
You
to
know what I
be.
mean? So now you got a quarterback where now Bill knows, okay, I can rely on this quarterback. I can rely on this quarterback. So Michelle ended up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you got your main guy in Harris. All right. And right behind him, you got Stevenson, who's nice.
That's a good
All
1-2
right.
punch.
Exactly. So Bill Belichick can get anybody and be like, okay, I'm gonna make this team great.
Yeah. And we're not even
So,
mentioning James White, the pass catching running back.
exactly. They're all reliable, Mr. All reliable. Okay. So I think there's no way they decline. They only improve from here.
That's
They
fair.
only improve from here. And again, their defense is not like that defense that they had a couple years back. That was like elite level defense, but they're still pretty good. They're still pretty good. And the way they draft, even though you said, that they didn't really cover some of their problems, I feel like Bill always brings like a different mentality to the draft room where or not just Bill, but the whole Patriots organization. They always bring something different, which is, okay, what players can fit the system. As long as they could fit the system
and the
they're
culture.
gonna exactly they're gonna be great for the team. And I feel like that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
So that's why I have them at 7. At number 6, I have the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns at number 6. Yes, they got Deshaun Watson, who may or may not play. Yes, they got Amari Cooper. Yes, they got an amazing defense. Yes, they have the best duo at running backs.
Yeah.
But I still don't. Honestly, the only reason I have them at 6 is just because these top 5 teams are just better than them.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason. So honestly, there's not really much I have to say about the Browns. I think that what they're doing is really good. They want to win now. They're hungry. They're motivated. They're tired of being the losers. And I think they finally have all those pieces together where it's like, okay, we have a good defense.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a good offense. Now we just got to combine the two and we'll be great. So I feel like that's just the only piece that's missing. The combining the two. Because when the offense is good, it's like, oh man, we still got scored a little bit too much. Or when the defense is good, it's like, oh, we should have scored a little bit more points. So it's like if they could get those two things, that their mentality together, they'll be able to do great. But I feel like that's what they're lacking right now. So that's why they're at 6.
That's fair. I got them at 6 as well. Kind of what you said. Listen, my top 6, it's really hard to find, I guess you could say, a negative.
Right. Yeah.
But if I have to find one, it would definitely be what we keep bringing up. Will Deshaun Watson play? That to me is the only negative. Like with Deshaun Watson, the Browns are at least at number 6 because of what you just said. Behind Deshaun Watson, you have, well, let's start in front. In front of Deshaun Watson, you have one of the best O-lines. Behind him, you have the best running back tandem, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. At wide receiver, Amari Cooper. Yes, he might be the only name, but it's Deshaun Watson. He'll probably make Donovan Peoples-Jones a really good wide receiver too. You know what I mean?
I don't doubt
that defense is amazing. And they just re-signed Clowney. They did pretty good in the draft with what they had. So I like what they did. I love it. Now, if Deshaun Watson is suspended, Baker Mayfield gets traded. Now it's like, ooh, who do you have at quarterback? Which is why right now with Deshaun Watson, maybe throughout as we get closer to the season, we'll know if he's there or not. Right now, they're 6. Without Deshaun and Baker, obviously they go lower. But as of right now, Deshaun easily number 6 with the Browns.
Yeah.
Like I said, the one negative I guess I'll find is that will he play or not? As simple as that. We'll wait and find out. But not much more to say than that. Number 5. Oh, my top 5 was so hard to organize. It was so hard to organize, but I did it. Number 5, the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
Again, really hard to find anything negative. Okay, like I would say their negative is like their O-line's not as good as some of the AFC teams have it, because a lot of the best O-lines are in the AFC, right? So it's hard to say their O-line.
A lot of the best of everything is in the AFC, honestly.
The AFC is ridiculous.
Except Cooper Kupp. But anyway.
Cooper and Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. Yeah. I don't think their O-line is as strong. So I guess that'll be the negative. But you have Russell Wilson, man. Like you have a quarterback that could make any throw, that could extend plays with his legs. You got Javonte Williams, who I could talk about for an hour. You got Melvin Gordon. You got Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick. Yes, you lost Noah Fant, but you have that kid, like I said, Albert O, who, again, I don't want to mispronounce his name. You drafted another tight end to maybe compete with him or help him. The defense is not as good as the Browns or other teams, but they're good enough to hold it down.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I got them at 5 just because I do think that my top 4 is better than them. And their one negative, I guess, like I said, is the O-line. But other than that, it's like stellar team. And it wouldn't shock me if one day they're number 1. So let's go with you.
All right. So my number 5 is the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Let's go.
Mean, pretty much the same thing you just said. You know, the O-line isn't the best. I mean, still, I feel like with this O-line, it's like
they'll be okay.
I mean, you know what? If you were to compare the O-line between the Seahawks and the O-line between the Broncos,
yeah,
I would go with the Broncos. So you would say that Russell improved a bit, you know, so he'll definitely be able to work with this O-line. You know, again, if he was able to work with the O-line over there in Seattle, he's definitely going to be able to work with this one. And like we mentioned, the defense. Yeah, the defense isn't the best, but they'll be able to be like, look, we tried to hold it down. Russ, go do your thing.
Finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, finish it. So again, I agree with everything you said. That's why I have them at number 5. Now, my number 4. This team has really become one of my favorite teams. Okay. And I had them at 3. I even had them at 2 for like a millisecond. I had them at 2 for like a millisecond.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, who am I kidding? They're not number 2.
Okay.
So I had them at number 3, but then I was like, you know what? I think the number 4 team might be better. So now that's why they went down to my number 4. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
I have the Bengals at number 4 just because, yes, they're a great team, but I feel like their defense is usually what lets them down.
Yeah.
Okay. They have amazing wide receivers. Those 3 wide receivers are amazing. Okay. Higgins, you got Jamar, and you got Boyd. Thank you. And you got Boyd. Okay. All 3 are amazing, humongously tall freaking players.
Yeah.
They can catch you could throw it to whoever and they could catch the ball. It does not matter.
Absolutely.
Right? And then you add Joe Mixon to that. Bro, come on. Joe Mixon played a sensational season last season. And I feel like this season he might do a little bit better.
I hope so. I like him. So
I think he might do a little bit better. But I feel like the defense, yeah, it's not the worst, but I just don't think they are better than my top 3 teams. It really just goes down to that. You know, these last 6 teams to me is not the negatives that they have, is just looking at, okay, is this team better than the team that I have, you know, next to them. So that's why I have them at 4. What do you have?
I got the Bengals at 4. Again, not gonna go crazy in depth today because you said it all. I would say the only add I'd say is that they fixed their O-line pretty well in the offseason. Like Joe Burrow, the Bengals were 1 play away from winning the Super Bowl. Let's be honest. If Joe Burrow had 1, maybe 2 seconds more, Jamar Chase was open for a touchdown.
Yes, he was.
Bengals are champs. Why? Why couldn't he do it? Because the O-line, let's be honest, sucked. He got sacked so many times not in the game, in the second half when it matters.
Yep.
Rams went crazy, right? So I think they needed to address that O-line. They did. I think they definitely improved. Their defense, like you said, it's not as great as others. So it's like it's hard to put them higher than 4. Yeah. I also debated with them. I never put them at 2, I'll tell you that, but I was 4 and 3. But I chose them at 4. Not much more to say to that. I'm excited to see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase year 2. Yes. Obviously, Joe Burrow's 3rd year, but you know what I mean? Combined, like both of them together year 2. T. Higgins, one of my favorite receivers right now. So yeah, I'm excited for them, but I got them at 4 because my number 3.
Nice. Yes.
And it hurts me to say, but my number 3 are the Kansas City Chiefs.
No way.
I got them at 3 just because Tyreek Hill is such a big loss. Like, I know it's Patrick Mahomes. I know it's Andy Reid. I know they replaced him with Juju, MVS, Sky Moore. You still have Kelsey. You have a pretty good defense, but Tyreek Hill was such a big piece to that offense, like what they like to do, that it's hard to replace him. Like, you're talking about a player, like I said, could run you a 5-yard run, 5-yard slant, and take it to the house for 50 yards.
Yeah.
He could also just run a vertical for 50 yards and make it an 80-yard touchdown. He could also get the ball as a handoff as a running back, and he'll score a touchdown. He's proven it many times.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard for them to adjust. I'm not saying that they won't. It's going to be hard at the beginning, right? In my opinion. So it's hard for me to put them there. but I did it because they lost Tyreek Hill and because their defense is okay. They never lately have never really been great. Not to mention they lost Honey Badger.
I know.
Their leader. Yes, they
know.
got Reed, a good defensive back, a good safety, but he's not Honey Badger, man. Not only as a player, but as a leader. So I don't know. It's hard for me. I think they've downgraded not a crazy amount to bring them from, to my opinion, last season, before the season started, would have been number 1. They've dropped 2 spots. They're number 3 for me. As simple as that. Who you got at number 3?
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Yeah.
I have at number 3 the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it's hard.
All right. And it was tough, switching these 3 teams, my top 3. But ultimately, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I have the Kansas City Chiefs at number 3 as well.
Easy
Yes, they downgraded in Tyreek Hill, but like we were talking about it earlier, even though Tyreek Hill is this fast, they call him the cheetah for a reason.
Yeah.
I feel like they're bringing in 2 players in MVS and especially Juju that are really good route runners.
Okay.
Right, especially Juju. Similarly to what Odell Beckham did with the Rams and him wanting to go out there and actually stay on the field and play, I think Juju is going to do the same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay. I feel like, he was always getting injured. He didn't really look motivated in the Steelers with Big Ben back there. Yeah. But I feel like now he has Mahomes. He automatically went to a team where it's like, okay, this team is always going to be up there in the AFC Championship game, always trying, to contest for the Super Bowl. So I think he's going to be extra motivated and he's always going to be out there to play. He's going to be healthy. And I feel like in a way, when it comes to routes, they may have improved a bit. Okay. Now
that's fair.
That's just what I think.
That's fair.
That's just what I think. All right. I've been seeing Tyreek Hill for many years, and same thing with Juju and Steelers. And if there is one thing that I have learned over the past years is that if Andy Reid does a decision, is because he is okay with it and he already has a plan.
Yeah, he knows.
Always. I said it when Mahomes first came into the league. Always. If this man does a change in his team, is because he is 100% sure that decision will work for his team. So I think the Chiefs will be fine. Yeah, they dip a bit in explosiveness, but I don't see them being better than my number 1 and my number 2. So that's why I have them at number 3.
Agreed. I fully agree with everything you said. I do think they improve in route running, but let's be real, Tyreek, explosiveness. It's hard for me to put them at 3, man, because the love I have for Mahomes, man. You know how much I root them on, but
I know.
It's just, it is what it is. I had to do it.
I agree. I know.
All right. So now we got a top 2.
Yes.
I do think we got in the same order, but
maybe
let's see if we got any surprises.
Maybe. You know what? I say we just say number 2 at the same time.
All right. I'll count you down. Ready? On my go, we say.
We're not going to say the team. We're not going to say the city. Let's just say the team.
Of course.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Chargers. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
The Chargers as well. The Chargers as well. For me, just a quick rundown. We kind of talked about it with Mac, right? Like,
yeah,
stupid amount of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. A great quarterback in Justin Herbert. Not yet Patrick Mahomes level, but good enough.
Yep.
More than good enough, actually. Then on top of that, just a quick rundown. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, a phenomenal amount of pieces. That defense, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Asante Samuel Jr., Derwin James. Come on, man. That team to me has elevated. Oh, and not to mention they also signed JC Jackson in the offseason.
I was just about to say that.
I know he only had one good season. People are like, oh, maybe he's overhyped. Let's wait and see, man. If it's a flop, it's a flop. If it's a good signing, it's like they made the best signing of the summer. That's the thing with these moves. You always got to take that risk. There's some moves that you're just like, what are you doing? Like Christian Kirk, the money they gave him. But, JC Jackson has proven why he should get that money. So, we'll see if it works out or not. But I love the Chargers. I've always been a fan. Know this, but I hope this is their year, man. I hope this is their year, but I can't put them at number 1 yet. But number 2 to me is comfortable for them. What about you? Why'd you put them at 2?
Honestly, everything you said, I was going to say. I was like, I hope he doesn't say Jackson because I would want to say Jackson since you're already stating everything I'm going to say. But since you said it, I'm going to just say agreed.
Go ahead.
Chargers at number 2. Yeah. There's really nothing else to say. You pretty much covered it all. And
how about this? Try to find a flaw as to why they're why would they not be number 1 and number 2 instead? So why are they 2 instead of 1? Yes, we already talked. We both.
Okay, well, if the flaw that I see in this team is maybe just, even though Herbert is this great quarterback, he might still need a little bit more experience.
Okay,
You know what I
fair.
mean? I mean,
That's totally fair. Yeah.
he's cold blooded. Don't get me wrong.
He
This
is.
man
He
is
is.
cold blooded, but there might be, he might be put in certain situations where sometimes he might not know what to do. You know?
Good point, right? About the experience, because when you think about it, going back to what I said earlier, this to me, I don't know if you agree, I think is the toughest division in the whole NFL, right?
Yes. Yes.
And when you look at Justin Herbert, as good as he is, he's probably, if not second, the third best quarterback in this division, which is crazy to me because he's top 5, top 10 in the NFL, but
I
he's
know.
number 2 or number 3 in the division. But besides the point, he is by far the least experienced.
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl champ. Russell Wilson, Super Bowl champ. Derek Carr, yes, he's never won a Super Bowl, barely even been in the playoffs, but more years of experience, can handle that pressure. Justin Herbert is the youngest, so it's going to be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm excited for that.
yeah, I mean, hey, again, that's why I have them at number 2. And at number 1, again, we've pretty much agreed all top 5 teams.
Yeah.
At number 1, there is a reason why I'm wearing this shirt.
Yes, sir.
There is a reason. Okay. Because I think they are the number 1 team in the AFC. They are tired. I'm gonna just bring up certain situations that they are tired of. Okay. They're tired of losing to the Kansas City Chiefs 2 years in a row. Tired of it. Okay. I feel like they know they have the team to win the Super Bowl. They know they could be the Chiefs. They know it. And they just picked up Von Miller. Von Miller in defense. Their defense just got better. Okay. And then you got this offense in Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen. Singletary seems to be stepping up a bit, but hey, you don't even need to include the running backs in this. Okay. You got other key players. You got a tight end who last season came out of nowhere in Knox. I mean, out of nowhere. This guy could be the number 1 tight end this season. You never know. But yeah, I think it was a no-brainer to me. All right. Bills at number 1.
I mean,
great team.
Like you said, basically everything you said, ditto, basically, right? Like Josh Allen, top 2, in my opinion, quarterbacks in the NFL. You could argue him and Mahomes. In my opinion, still Mahomes a little bit, but
yeah,
I wouldn't even say top 2. I'd say Josh Allen 1B, Patrick Mahomes 1A. That's my opinion. Stephon Diggs, my favorite wide receiver. There's a reason why it's number 14. My guy. Gabriel Davis, really complimentary, a very good complimentary piece. Like you said, Dawson Knox, a stud, maybe. I don't know if he'll end up number 1 tight end, but he'll definitely, in my opinion, end up like top 5, top 3. The running back situation, I feel like they still need to sort that out. But with Josh Allen, who cares about your running back?
Right.
They already had the number 1 defense. They really didn't lose any pieces. And now they're getting, like you said, Von Miller, and they're getting back Tre'Davious White. Because keep in mind, Tre'Davious White was not there when they played the Chiefs.
I know.
With Tre'Davious White, things might change. Might change. Yeah. And obviously, without the toss of a coin. But anyways, it's this is a team where I will say it's hard to find a flaw. Like if I really want to be nitpicky, even though I'll be arguing what I said, but again, that's just because if I want to continue that where I'm finding a negative is you don't have a true running back 1. But again, it's Josh Allen. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, so again, be nitpicky. Oh, you don't have a running back. So what? So what? They're fine. They're easily number 1 for me. I agree with what you said. I don't know. I feel like there's no debate about that.
Yeah, honestly, there really isn't.
Like you could be a hater, but they're number 1, man. Simple as that.
Listen, I'm actually surprised that our top 5 teams, because I don't even think we did this in the second episode with the NFC, that we had the same 5 teams.
Yeah, I think NFC we had definitely a lot of more mix and match.
Yep.
With the AFC, we started off hot, we ended off hot. So
yep, yeah. Well, I love it. I love it that we're like thinking alike. We're not telling each other, like how are we putting these teams. We're trying to leave it up for random always, and it's awesome that we're actually agreeing with most of these teams.
And honestly, in a tougher conference, I think the NFC for me was kind of easier to rank. Yes, we had a lot. Like there was one where I think it was the Saints where you had much lower than I did, and the Vikings as well.
I mean, this one, the only one was the Patriots. You had Patriots at 11, and I had them at 7.
Right. I think that was our biggest jump. Other than that, it's like we had pretty maybe 1, 2 off, whatever, but. For the most part, our top 5 was the same. Our bottom 3 were the same. The middle, like I said, we would switch one in between. But For it to be the toughest conference and for us to be this close, that's pretty interesting, man. Can't wait for the season to get closer, man, so we can update these rankings, bro.
Yep.
Oh, so close, guys. We're so close. We're almost there. Oh, but that's gonna be it for the AFC talk today. I think now it's appropriate we move into the EOE.
Yeah.
The EOE, as you guys know, talk about anything. We could keep it football related. We could talk about other sport, literally anything. So, kick us off. Anything you want to say today?
Yeah. So there's actually about to be a couple of soccer games that are about to begin.
Oh yeah.
Right now, probably in like the next 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would like for us to talk a bit about the UEFA Nations League that's going on right now.
It's pretty good. Let's go.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good games lately. There's one game in particular that I want to talk about. All right. Yeah,
I think I know, but go
Spain
ahead.
versus Portugal, they already played, ended 1-1.
Really good game, though. Really good game.
Really good game. Czech Republic, Switzerland,
Yeah.
Israel,
No disrespect.
Iceland.
No disrespect, yeah, but
Yeah. Norway, obviously Holland did his thing. They ended up winning 1-0.
Holland.
But there's one game that I really want to talk about. Okay.
Can I guess what it is?
Sure.
Is it the Belgium-Netherlands game?
Yes.
I knew it.
Yes.
That game was ridiculous, yo.
Bro, you have no idea. I was watching it and I was like, okay, 1-0. All right, that's not bad. 2-0. Okay. 3. Okay, what's going on? 4? What?
Yeah.
It was that good. I had no idea. I really thought Belgium was going to win. I had Belgium winning. I put, my money on FanDuel thinking Belgium was going to win. Bro, let me tell you, Netherlands does not have a, true number 9, but Depay and Bergwijn can do it. It does not matter. These guys were playing amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Not to mention the midfield. All right. The midfield for that game. I'm only talking about this game.
Right.
They played really good. But I think what some people don't really see is that defense. That defense is top level, elite. You got Virgil in the back, right? Your captain. You got Timber, who
I like him so much.
Starter, but he's amazing. Yeah,
he's one of those that, like, God forbid, and one of them gets hurt, you're like, oh, I'm confident. Timber, get in there.
Exactly. So you got those two, right? And then you got, I don't know how to pronounce it. Some people call him Ake. Some people call him Aki.
I call him Ake.
I call him Ake. That's
never heard that, but that's interesting.
Ake, whatever.
I call him Ake.
That man is a beast. A beast. He was the best defender that game. And that's not even to mention Delete. All right. To me, those are the 3 starters: Ake, Delete, and Virgil van Dijk.
Right.
All right. And those 3 weren't even, it was just 2 of them. It was 2/3. Delete came off the bench. Bro, this team is going to be a menace. A menace for the World Cup. This changes a lot of things for me.
I was gonna ask you, does your mind change now in your in your group predictions?
Yes, it changes a lot for me because Netherlands played amazing against Belgium, who is arguably one of the favorite teams to win the World Cup.
I would agree. So
for
those that don't know what we're talking about when we talk about changed a lot of things. Last week's episode, we talked about the World Cup and our group stage predictions. And Mr. J here, not to spoil anything, but let's just say he didn't have Netherlands winning his group. That's all I'll say. You guys want to know more? Go ahead and check out that episode. Really interesting stuff. You guys don't want to miss it. But I'm glad to see that now your mind has changed. You now understand why I had Netherlands winning the group. I'm telling you, man, when I saw Netherlands at the Euros, I really thought they could win it. I felt like they just had a bad day when they played Czech Republic and they got knocked out, right?
Yeah.
That game against Belgium, I'll say this. I wasn't home for it live. I had to record it and watch it when I got home. When I got out of work and I saw the score, I was like, I got to check these lineups. Like, Belgium had to play a second team, right?
Right.
It was literally everybody but Courtois.
Yeah.
That's insane to me. Like, yes, I understand Courtois right now, arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, but you have the rest of your team out there. What's going on? Netherlands, I think Netherlands, if they have a weakness, it's their goalie. Netherlands doesn't really have a really standout goalie.
He played amazing.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So keep that in mind. If they don't have a standout goalie and he did well, imagine Netherlands with Courtois. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's ridiculous.
And you know what's funny? So you said you weren't able to watch the whole game, right? I was able to see it all, right? From beginning to end. Belgium's best players came off the bench. Okay, in Mertens and Batshuayi.
Wow. He scored, right? Batshuayi was the one that scored, if I remember correctly.
He played amazing. But you know what? The game really did take a hard right turn when Lukaku got injured.
Yeah. I saw
that. So
I honestly
it could have been.
Didn't. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was going to be a true, like a real impactful injury. It didn't look that bad, but now I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah, you could add, the Courtois now playing and the Lukaku being injured. Maybe that's why that happened, but I don't know.
I still think they should have done better. I thought they were going to tie. Amazing. As you stated, our predictions, I thought they were going to tie 2-2.
Yeah.
I did not expect a 4-1. And if a 4-1 would have happened, honestly, I would have expected it to be Belgium, not Netherlands. But I'll say this, I'm happy. I've always supported Netherlands, not only because of Frankie, not only because of the pie, just always had a little soft spot for them. So
yeah,
seeing them win, I'm just, my heart's complete.
I know. I
was happy for them.
Do you have any other game you want to talk about? Anything else you want to mention?
No, honestly, when it comes to Nations League, bro, like it's so interesting. Like, I want to know what teams, like how teams take. I know Portugal has come out and said, like, we want to win, right? But then I'm assuming, like, the big countries, like, yes, your mentality is you want to win it.
I mean, Portugal wants to win it again.
Again, right. But it's like, I don't know. Like, did you see Hungary, England?
Bro, listen.
Hungary won. And let me tell you, England, if we go by chance, it shouldn't have lost. But Hungary, I respect them. Because what I saw is, yes, they're a defensive team. But when they go on to counter, oh my God, they know what they're playing for. They know how to play their style, bro. Every counterattack should have been a goal. Simple as that.
Bro, and I've said it from the beginning. England, chokers.
Yeah, you did say that.
That's why I don't have them winning my group in the World Cup.
That's true. I forgot about that one. Yeah, you don't have them winning.
So listen.
Oh, speaking of that, though, I do want to mention the qualifying, right? The playoffs. So we have one of the three knocked out already.
Oh, yeah.
It's already been booked. Our predictions, I were that Wales was going to make it. We would have loved to see Ukraine, but we both just felt. Again, if I'm speaking for you, please by all means go ahead. But I
agree with everything you're saying.
If I recall correctly, we both said it's going to be hard for them with everything that's going on in their country.
Yeah.
I know they're doing it for that, but it was always going to be hard. And as strong as they are, because I really like them. I'll get into that in a bit, but we did think Wales was going to win, and they did win. They advanced, and I'm really happy for Gareth Bale, who I can now officially say is not a Real Madrid player. Oh, that's so happy. That makes me so happy. I'm so happy for him. I've always liked him. He's phenomenal. So I'm happy for him. His first World Cup for Wales, period, in 64 years.
Yeah.
But I want to say this about that game. 1-0 Wales. You would think, what a bad game. That game was one of the most entertaining 1-0s I've ever seen in my life. Ukraine missed so many chances. Wales missed that game. Honestly, should have ended like 5-4. Yeah. What a game, bro! What a game! I loved every second of it, and it just sucked at the end seeing the Ukrainian players cry and stuff. But
but not just that. It sucks that it was an own goal.
Yeah, and by their captain Yarmolenko, bro.
Their best player was besides Zinchenko.
Well, I was going to say Zinchenko had a cracker of a game that day. He played so well.
It's a bummer.
It sucked. It sucked. Like I said, that's the thing. That's the beauty, and I guess in a way you could argue the ugly side of soccer. Like there's always going to be a team that you have a soft spot for, and they're going to lose. But in this case, I wasn't going to be mad. Wales, Gareth Bale, and I enjoyed them. Ukraine, obviously, for everything that's happening, and honestly, not only that, they played so well that they would have deserved it. So it sucks, but I would say overall the better team did win. But again, what a game. 1-0, yes, but what an entertaining game, bro.
Yep.
But yeah, in terms of Nations League, I would say, there's a lot of big games coming up. We got England, Italy. We got a couple good ones, right? And we'll talk about that sometime soon. But yeah, the Nations League, man, really interesting games. We'll probably get more in depth to it later. But the last thing I want to mention about soccer is the Finalissima, the game between the Euro 20.
The fake final. Yeah.
No. It's a real cup. They just haven't played in a while, and they brought it back.
Yeah, they brought it back. Why? Just to try to give Messi another. Come on, man.
Messi could have lost, but he did it because he's the GOAT. It was the European champions Italy versus the Copa America.
There's a reason why Italy didn't make it to the World Cup.
Copa America, and probably, hopefully, I pray to God, soon to be World Cup champions, Argentina.
Oh my God.
Argentina, let me tell you. Honestly, no jokes. Argentina walked all over Italy. Like, I saw the entire game. Not once did Italy.
I didn't even watch the game. You know why? Because it's a fake final.
No, it's because you're haters. Because you knew Messi was gonna win, and you couldn't stand the sight of seeing him lift another trophy. It's okay. I get it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. One day you'll admit that Messi was the best in the world, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be today. It's
never.
But
I can't say that.
But honestly, like, not like, to kind of drifted away from Messi and Argentina. What you said earlier, like, there's a reason why Italy's on the World Cup, and honestly, that game showed it. Like, Italy, man, in the Euros seems such a different team. In the Euros, I was like, wow, what a good team. And now I see them obviously in qualifiers. They got unlucky, to be fair, against North Macedonia. They should have won, but that's soccer, right? That's life, period. And then against Argentina, like, I know Argentina's good, but Argentina right now, that game made Argentina look like a true contender, because either Argentina's that nice, or a combination of they're that nice and Italy's that bad right now. Because Italy has the players, Italy has the coach, but they look so bad. They couldn't do a single thing. Like, I think they had like one chance that it wasn't even that scary. They just had the chance, right? They looked terrible defensively. They looked old defensively. I'll say that. Respect to Chiellini and Bonucci, but it's time to go. Donnarumma, again, still, he had a really good game because he had a lot of saves, but the goals, in my opinion, he could have done a little bit better in. Messi had a cracker of a game. Di Maria had an amazing game. DePaul is always underrated. Romero, oh, what a center back. I think Argentina are for real, man. I want to see them obviously against bigger teams, but I would say right now Argentina are for real, and I'm excited for them. Italy got a lot of work to do. They want to think about 2026. They'll probably make it 2026. Let's be fair, but it's a lot of work to be a contender in 2026. They got some work to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's where I would wrap it up for soccer. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, nothing. That Portugal won 4-0 against Switzerland.
Oh yeah, that was yesterday.
A brace by Ronaldo. Yeah, showing why he's the GOAT.
Yeah, showing why he's a goal. A shot from Diego Jota that hits off the goalkeeper and bounces off.
Anyway,
and goes in, right?
Like I was saying.
Oh wait, can I bring something up about that?
No.
No. Like, on a serious note,
no.
I don't know if you saw his celebrations. I'm not trying to be funny, but is it just me, or is he not, when he does his C celebration, right? You know, he usually like gets mad high up when he does it. Is it just me, or was yesterday, did he not jump that high?
It doesn't matter. Sometimes he doesn't jump. Other times he jumps super high.
Bro, those knees are getting old.
Relax.
Telling you, bro. Those knees. Fine. He's feeling the old man vibes, bro. I'm telling you. Ronaldo knows it's coming.
He's fine. What else? Yeah, no, I just want to finish off. I think we're good with soccer. I just want to finish off with something that's gonna happen this upcoming Saturday. We may have already posted by then, but there's some UFC fights. It's going to be UFC 275. The main event is going to be Glover Teixeira versus, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's first name, is Jiri, but his last name is Prochaska. Right now, the champ is Glover. This man is like 41, 42 years old.
Yeah, he's been on for a while.
My prediction for that fight is I think Prochaska wins. It does not go to the judges. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way. I think either this guy knocks him out, or I don't see it any other way. I see Prochaska knocking him out. The co-main event is Valentina Shevchenko versus Tayla Santos. Okay. Again, another title fight. Valentina Shevchenko is the GOAT in that division. It's gonna be easy. Well, okay, you know what? Maybe not easy work, because there's a reason why this other fighter is fighting for the title.
Right.
But I think Shevchenko is at a different level. She's by herself. And then the one before that is Wei Li, she's from China. Her last name is Zhang, or first name is Zhang Wei Li. Beast. She's a beast. Okay. She's going up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk from Poland. That fight was, I believe, 2 years ago, the fight of the year. So now they're gonna bring it back again. They're gonna fight again for pretty much a title eliminator. I do think Wei Li wins this one again. So if any of you guys are interested in, again, since we're gonna try to post before that Saturday, if any of you guys listen to this before that, my predictions, if you guys want to go ahead and put it on FanDuel, I'm going to be putting some money on it. My three, like a 3-fight parlay. I'm going to go with Zhang Wei Li winning the game. Winning the fight, with Valentina Shevchenko winning the fight, and with Jiri Prochaska winning the fight as well. So that's a quick little 3-fight parlay if you guys wanna win some quick money. So that's all I got.
And if you guys lose, you know who to blame. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh man!
If we lose, we'll just edit this out.
No, because this episode's gonna be out before Saturday. So
man, you're right.
So they'll hear it and they'll be like, "Oh, cool." And then after Saturday, I'm like, "Come on, Jay." But it's
I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna be right. It's
let's have faith.
I'm not worried.
Let's have faith. It's fine. The one thing I want to finish with, I know I said I had to finish soccer, but I saw something interesting today that I would be so excited about, and I know you would be too. If Argentina end first in their group, and Portugal end first in their group, the way it's set up, hopefully the way it's set up, and obviously they win every game after, Argentina, Portugal in the final.
Ooh, that'll be amazing.
What a way to send it off. Because
that'll be real, amazing.
Let's be real. It's Ronaldo's last World Cup. It's most likely Messi's last World Cup. So what a way to finish.
Yeah,
their international, maybe not international careers, but on the big stage, their international careers playing against each other for the World Cup.
That'll be great.
And then Messi winning and looking at Ronaldo going, oh, that'd be great. Oh, that'd be absolutely
relax. See, you ruined it.
No, but in all seriousness, I think that'd be like the best game of all time. Like, I think literally anybody and everybody, even if you don't watch soccer, everybody knows Messi or Ronaldo, if not both, right?
Yeah.
I think everybody would say, yo, I gotta watch this game. Like, let me sit down. Let me watch this game. Like, literally the entire world. I think the world would freeze and everybody be watching that game for 90, maybe 120 plus minutes. Oh, I hope it happens. I'm praying it happens, man.
Let's see.
The first step is I'm winning the group.
Time will tell.
Only time will tell. We're about 6 months away. Time couldn't move any faster. Let me tell you, time couldn't move any faster, please. And the last thing I want to talk about is just NBA Finals. Just a quick recap. They're 1-1 right now. Golden State versus Celtics. Celtics did a phenomenal comeback in game 1 in the fourth quarter. Game 2, the Warriors blew them out. But now they're heading to Boston. It's going to be interesting to see how that series goes. 1-1. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm watching them. Pretty good games. And then in hockey, an update on the Rangers that we talked about last week. They won the first 2 games at home against the Tampa Bay Lightning, but they just lost yesterday with 40 seconds. It was 2-2, and they lost with 40 seconds to go, man.
That sucks.
2-1, but it's okay. Hopefully they'll win on Tuesday. They'll get a 3-1 lead and then wrap it up at home. But for me, that's all I got to say for today. Anything else you want to mention for us?
One last thing. Let's go Yankees. Aaron Judge is killing it right now, playing like at an MVP level.
He is. I can't deny that.
Let's go Yanks.
He is. Listen, I'm not a big baseball guy, but I do support the Mets. So, yeah. But you know me. As I said, episode 1, I will give credit where it's due, and Aaron Judge is going berserk right now. That man is doing something different. But then again,
right, that's all I got.
So is my boy Pete Alonso and Francisco Lindor. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The Mets are doing well, so
Imagine World Series. Listen, New York versus New York.
But I was just gonna say, let's be real. Like, this season feels a little different, but it's the Mets. They usually start us here, and then when the real time comes, it's like, okay, there we are. So, but hopefully you're right. New York versus New York.
That'll be insane.
In a way, you can't lose. Like, if you're in New York, you can't lose. Like, yes, you would hate to see the Yankees win if you're a Mets fan. Yes, you'd hate to see the Mets win if you're a Yankees fan. But at the end of the day, New York won, and it's been a while since we could say that. So
seriously,
let's hope for the best. That's all on my behalf. And
that's all I got. That's all I got.
Perfect. So then, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to give a thumbs up, like this video, please subscribe, and follow us on all our social media platforms. And with that being said, we will see you soon for episode 5. Peace.
See you guys.